That's a beautiful sight, though. Beautiful morning. You think there are water moccasin in that creek?
Probably.
From here, we will proceed to stop number 2 down the park trail. Stop on the slope of the hill and give you your first view of those 3 water obstacles separating George Morell's division of the Union 5th Corps. And there's a particularly good quote here from a Confederate soldier describing this stretch of the battlefield, written after the war, but very vivid, and he could have been describing where we now stand. He wrote, "This was the strongest point I saw occupied by either army during the war. For half a mile in the enemy's front," this is a Confederate soldier from his perspective, "for half a mile in the enemy's front was an open field muskets with but he did not permit them to cap the pieces, which is the final step in the firing process, and therefore they could not give in to temptation. And Hood in person led the final charge very late in the afternoon, perhaps an hour before sunset, down the opposite slope, which was more open in 1862 than it is today, and he came screaming across the guns. That whole portion of the battlefield also saw very heavy fighting. Stonewall Jackson's wing of the Confederate Army launching repeated attacks against Sykes's division of the Union 5th Corps, and much like what we saw on the National Park property, there were preliminary assaults that failed, and eventually late in the day Jackson was able to marshal enough troops to launch an attack that was so overpowering.
Surely this was too strong a site to attack. But as events unfold that day, they'll tell a different story. Our next stop number 2, just a short distance. From here, take the trail to your right, cross the historic Willis Church Road, and stop at the cannon just beyond the road.
Rounds per gun. That's a lot of artillery hand stuffing.
The building, the white building that stands now, represents the site of the historic West House. That building was surrounded by a number of outbuildings at the time, barns, stables, and kitchens. We are right now standing at the very center of the Union line, and when you look straight ahead towards those chimneys, you're looking at the center of the Confederate position, less than a half a mile from where we are right now. At that time,